I would like for you to think about this statement with me. Humanity without barriers. When I think about humanity without barriers, I start to get a little excited. Because that means we can become, we can achieve, and we can do whatever we want. You want to be Superman? No problem. You want to be Superwoman? No problem. For all the foreigners who want to speak Polish? No problem. It would be like utopia. We can accomplish it without any problems. But before we start to fly too high, let's use gravity to pull us back down to planet Earth. Because the reality is that we're faced with crossing boundaries and overcoming barriers. But boundaries and barriers are quite interesting in them of themselves. Because they cause us to grow, they cause us to develop, and they cause us to mature. And when we overcome them, we find a deep joy and satisfaction of a job well done. Now, humanity has faced the impossible barriers since the beginning of time. One of those impossible barriers that we have faced, we have seen become reality in just the last century. This is the dream of flight. To spread out your arms and to fly like a bird. It's been impossible for thousands and thousands of years until December 17th, 1903, two individuals, the Wright brothers, made 4 successful flights on a fixed-wing craft. Now, only 116 years later, we have just today, more than 150,000 flights alone. In 2017, aviation broke a record of more than 4 billion passengers in that year alone. So today, before and after our TED Talk, somewhere in the sky, there'll be more than 11 million people flying in our world. Boundaries were crossed, and barriers were demolished. Now, as a child, I always had the dream to fly as well. To spread out my arms, to fly like a bird, to grab a plastic bag from the kitchen, jump off the bed or the couch, and just try to float down in the sky all the way to the ground. So in university I went and I got my pilot's license. So I wanted to fly like a bird. So I fly a plane just like this. It's called the Piper Super Cub. Fantastic aircraft. I don't have a plane, but I love to fly. So just last week the weather was good, so I did what I knew best. I went, I got me a plastic bag, and I started to fly. Why not? Well, last October I went to France and I got my certificate in paragliding. And so I just really enjoy flying. So I have just a short video clip for you guys to enjoy. So this is me, and this is only my second flight. The dream to fly, the boundaries were crossed by 2 individuals with 4 simple flights. Now, there are other impossible barriers for humanity to cross. And one of those impossible barriers that I would like to see humanity cross is crossing the boundaries to the forgotten. I'll define the forgotten as the homeless, the sick, the orphan, and the hungry. The United Nations estimates there to be about 815 million people in our world that need food. The sick, those that don't have access to simple medical care, vaccines, or medicine. The orphan, UNICEF estimates 153 million orphans in our world, and every single day, more than 5,700 children become orphans. And the homeless, about 150 million homeless people in our world. And Habitat for Humanity estimates 1.6 billion people live without adequate shelter. Now I would like to share with you a personal story on how I crossed the boundaries to the forgotten. My wife, Brooke, and I, we moved to Poland in 2001, and we arrived here just 3 days before the terrorist attack of September 11th happened in America. Now, we were crossing very interesting boundaries and interesting borders as well. In Poland, we found new language, new food, new cultures, new traditions. But then I crossed a boundary that would forever change the course of my life. You see, my wife and I were working in both the cities of Poznań and Nungesser when we would travel by train. And I saw the homeless people at the train station. I thought, maybe there's something I can do to help. But I didn't know how. I don't have a degree in helping homeless people. I didn't know how to cross that boundary. And then one night I was reading, and I read across this passage that says this. It says, give a cup of water to someone who's thirsty, for instance. The smallest act of giving or receiving makes you a true apprentice. You won't lose out on a thing. And that was from the Bible. And I thought, that is something I can do. I can give a cup of water. However, winter was approaching and it was getting cold. So I thought hot tea would be better instead. So before leaving work, I had my little thermos and I filled it up with hot tea and I went to the train station. And I walked into the train station, I walked into the waiting room, and there before me was a forgotten. There was about 80 homeless men, women, and teenagers. And I thought for a moment, I don't have enough. I brought with me just a simple little thermos and 3 cups. And then I started to panic. I thought, what am I going to do? Are the people going to hurt me and demand more? Are they going to rob me? And then I just had a panic moment. I sat down and I began to pray. I'm like, okay, God, you have to do something. You have to rescue me. You have to multiply this, just like in the Bible when you multiply the fish and the bread and fed 5,000 people, right? Why not do it today? So I finished that panic prayer, and I looked to my right, and there was a man digging in the garbage can. He removed an old cup, and he took off the lid, and he began to drink the liquid from that cup. I said, here's my chance, and I took that opportunity to give him a cup of tea. 2 other men saw what I was doing, and they approached me, and I gave my 2nd cup. And I was waiting for my 3rd cup just to keep pouring out and overflowing, and my thermos ran dry. There was no more tea in my thermos. So I went home, I told my wife what I had done, and served successfully 3 cups of tea that night. Now I want to pause in my story just for a moment to encourage you with an acrostic that I had learned years ago. And I want you to take it for your journey in life as well. And I want to encourage you to be fat. I'll explain, not in an unhealthy sense. Let me explain for you. The first word that we have in our fat is faithful. Say it with me, faithful. Now, in the time that we were going to the train station, it was getting colder and colder. So we were going almost every single day. My wife, my friends, and my colleagues were passing out tea. In Europe, that winter was very, very cold. And in Poland alone, more than 300 people froze to death. So there were no longer just numbers or statistics. Those people that we knew also froze to death here in Poznań. So we didn't realize how important it was needed, but we went as much as we could. And we realized that within the first 9 months, we ended up passing out more than 10,500 cups of tea. We served more than 6,100 meals, and more than 17 people changed their lives for the best. Wow. We thought, wow, this is really something. So I want to encourage you to be faithful. You know, a simple random act of kindness is fantastic, but do it again and again and again. The second word I want to encourage you with is this, available. Say it with me, available. I want to encourage you to be available. There's many wonderful organizations in the world that are doing wonderful work, but it's still not enough. But I want to encourage you to make yourself available with your time, with your talents, with your resources. Because when you make yourself available, this is where it gets exciting. Because you will inspire somebody else to partner with you. So it's no longer just you, but now it's your group of friends. And you're having influence in rescuing the forgotten. I remember we received a phone call at our Bread of Life office. And the man said, hey, I want to donate some food to you guys. I want to partner with you. We said, fantastic. He asked us a question, do you have freezer space? We said, well, we have a refrigerator, we have a small freezer. He said, no, do you have a freezer space? I said, well, maybe we can go buy a freezer. We said, what do you have? He says, I have 22,000 meals that I would like to give to you, and they're frozen. I said, we do not have freezer space for 22,000 meals. So we called all the orphanages that we knew and other organizations, and thankfully there was a Poznań food bank. We said, guys, we have a donation. So from that day, we served 22,000 meals on that day alone, and that was simply fantastic. So I want to encourage you guys, you be available, that you will inspire other people to great actions. And the last word is teachable. I want to encourage you guys to be teachable. Say it with me, teachable. What I learned next was how to organize a soup kitchen, a clothing closet, food distribution, how to organize medical care, education. And then it started expanding here in Poznań. Then we expanded in Gniezno, in the city of Kalisz, and in Długoszlina, and how to organize a home to help rescue people off the streets and put them back in society as productive citizens. But then it didn't stop there. We kept growing to the countries of Moldova, and then to Ivory Coast in West Africa, and it continues to grow. So I had to learn how to do this, and I want to encourage you guys continuing to learn. But one of the greatest things I learned was being with the forgotten. The forgotten always had lots of questions for me. They would ask, why are you here? You're a foreigner. Why are you helping me? I was like, well, these are good questions. And I responded with the man who was asking this question, why are you helping me? I told him, I said, well, I guess it's because I care about you. You see, I had learned a love that was strong, a love that was full of grace. And I want to encourage you guys to be teachable as we rescue the forgotten. You know, two brothers crossed the boundaries and made flight possible for billions and billions of people throughout the world. Now, what would it look like if we crossed the boundaries to the forgotten and rescue them so that billions and billions of people have a quality life? I want to give you guys just a small token or a gift, and I have volunteers. I'd like to ask the volunteers to come on out now at this time, and they're going to be giving you guys a simple cup, and inside that cup is a tea bag. All you need to do is add the hot water, and then go forth and be fat. Be faithful, available, and teachable. And together, we can make sure that no one is forgotten. Guys, TEDx, it's our time to fly. Thank you so much, and have a great day.